Welcome back, everyone, to blade&soul Korea. Oh, we're not in Korea anymore. We're in the World Championship. God darn it.
We're in Korea.
We're in Korea, but we are doing the World Championship 2017. We are back with the last match of our opening session of the World Championship Day 1. We got to see all the Western teams, the NA and EU teams represented one by each, get a win.
Yeah,
which is something I very, very much like. So Western dominance is beginning and ending. You watch out.
All right, I'll watch out. Well, for our next matchup for losers, we do have the Vietnam team versus the Japanese team. Noonsang Fan Club that you guys just saw get defeated by Guardian will be facing TheChosenOne, who got defeated by the EU team XD.
And it's really surprising to imagine that Noonsang Fan Club would have been in the losers match.
Oh, yeah.
And that's very much a surprise because I know the strength of this team and the individual players who have successfully done very well through the previous World Championships that we've seen them from. But in the end, it's going to be them against the Vietnamese club, TheChosenOne, to face off in this losers match. In the last match of part 1 of day 1, it's going to start very, very much soon. You see that guy on the left, Koichi Hirota. He was a troublemaker in both ways. He created trouble for his other team, but in the end, he created trouble for his own team by literally throwing the game with that Fury build that didn't work out against the Warlocks. So let's not do that again in the last match when it all counts.
Yeah, exactly. And this will be the last matchup of the first half of today. We do have a second half that will begin at 1900 Korea Standard Time. So, we're going to have a kind of a long break after this matchup, but, stay tuned and don't leave.
If you're confused about the time zone, it is about 2 hours and 5 minutes from now.
Yeah.
It's going to be when we're starting part 2. So whenever this game ends, we're going to have a short break. We say short break, but enough of a break to get us rested enough for part 2 to begin in 2 hours time. So just know the time zone to know when you get back. If you need a little sleep, go get that. Just set your alarm.
Get that power nap.
Hey man, that 2-hour power nap is the best one for me. But we're going to see the two teams who have done pretty well, but not good enough to win out their first series that they have faced in this World 2017. There you see TheChosenOne. Famo Hall on the Assassin did pretty well. Wen Fan Trong didn't do as much because on that Blade message he had very little to do. Yokoki on the Summoner had occasional power damages that he put out with the Summoner, but other than that, didn't lead to any wins. So it's going to be the end of that for when they face off against the XD, but they're going to try again against a very strong Japanese side, the Noonsang Fan Club, as we know them as very, very strong. So very tough assignment for TheChosenOne to really overcome, to not become the last place in Group B. But on the other side, if Noonsang Fan Club does lose on this one, they will be the last place in Group B, and that is something unimaginable coming into this tournament.
Yeah, and now we have the first matchup, and Koichi Hirota is coming out once again. We'll see if he brings out the Fury build or not. Let's hope not.
Please no.
Yeah, let's secure that win regardless. And, like I repeatedly keep saying that, I want to applaud the Vietnamese team for coming out, even though their server's been open maybe just 3 to maybe 1 month. It hasn't been that long. I'm pretty sure they have practiced enough to come here, but they are still behind and the music has changed. Let's get ready for the first set. Let's get it on.
Here it is once again, making a lot of appearances already for me to remember him for the rest of my life. Koichi Hirota is back out on the Destroyer. Thank God it's not the Fury build anymore. It's the Wen Fan Trong on the side of TheChosenOne. We're playing the Blade Master this time around.
There we go. Second win is used already by the Blade Master Koichi Hirota. As always, playing super aggressive.
I'm not even surprised by now. Like, I already know what he's going to do.
Yeah.
Every time he comes out onto the field, he's going to go in like that, regardless of Fury build or not.
Yeah. There we go. The Flock of Blades knocks him back. Oh, gosh.
But Fan Trong has...
out of all escapes right now.
He's having a hard time. Already having used the Flock of Blades. That's the only source of escape that he could have, but other than that, he's really in trouble. And against Koichi Hirota on the Destroyer, he's going to have to find some answers, put in some damage. But as we say that, he's still taking so much damage with that constant pummel to the face. The wedge is coming through the side of Koichi Hirota.
Oh, the smash doing a lot of damage.
Yeah.
but the Blade Master does save his second win, so he has maybe one more chance to live. And this
another
chance,
stun. He might have to use it now. He might have to because there's so much damage coming forward. He's getting the wedge. One more smash, all to do it. He's gonna get the blitz into the
there we
hurricane
go, the
instead.
knockdown, the back roll chase. Oh, the Searing Strike negates that back roll chase. Good
What
play.
is he supposed to do in this situation? We say that about Koji Hirota and how he lost game 4 altogether. When he plays like this every time, it just seems like the opponent has no answers to him, but
All right.
yeah, the Judgment Cleave combo, Cleave and Wrap was what he chose to finish him off, and Koji Hirota once again seems invincible and really leaves us the question on how he lost game 4 in the first place. In the end,
Yeah, his face just actually seemed like he was reminiscing about the game 4. He's like,
Yeah.
I should have just, not done the Fury build.
I would have thought that
Yeah.
he could have very easily won if he
Yeah.
had not chosen the Fury build to go extra aggressive compared to the already aggressive play that he has already shown throughout the tournament. So he's really making a name for himself, Koji Hirota. Win or not, he will be remembered as the most aggressive destroyer I've ever seen.
Yep. And it speaks for himself, his plays. He never backs off.
No,
he's always forcing the opponent to run away to, make room for him, with the way he runs through. It's like my way or the highway.
He probably should just get rid of the left button on this keyboard and just remove it from the thing, because he won't need it. He just needs to put the right button all the time. Just go forward all the time. Koji Hirota, one win for him. Noonsang Fan Club is going to be very happy with that first point, and it's going to be 1-0 up for these guys. Second match will come up with the second singles in preparation for that third match with the tag match. That will eventually come up, but we'll be seeing who's going to get that second grab to this play. But last time around, we saw Satoshi Sekimoto really liking his chances to play into singles, which he showed in the last series. But they will do it again. We have to see.
Yep, and this is the loser's match, so if you do lose here, regardless of who loses, you will be the last team, or the last place team in your group. And we do have Satoshi Sekimoto on the Blade Dancer and Fan Ho Hao on the Assassin.
I mean, this guy did pretty well. He put a lot of damage, and he knew exactly what he was supposed to do from time to time, but just that he didn't get enough support from his teammate in that tag match, and also in his singles, just a little bit of decision error led to his mistake. But all in all, Fan Ho Hao has looked pretty good on the side of TheChosenOne. Whether he can pull it off, another win could be off for Noonsang Fan Club if Fan Ho Hao cannot pick up a win here. So Satoshi Sekimoto, he's going to live up to his name to see whether he can get another win for these guys to get Noonsang Fan Club onto a 2-0 victory. We will find out in the second match coming up. Let's get on. The second match begins after a 1-0 lead that Noonsang Fan Club has taken for themselves. It's going to be Satoshi Sekimoto coming out with that usual Blade Dancer. And it's Fan Ho Hao, the assassin for the side of TheChosenOne.
Yep, and nothing too much happening right now. All right, the assassin is out of both escapes right now. Something did happen, and Satoshi is playing it very aggressive, very comfortably, phantom gripping him, having all the escapes.
Oh, the lightning draw into so much damage coming from that lightning flash and the blade echo. Woohoo! 100-0.
Yeah.
In a matter of 20 seconds, that's the face that we're very accustomed to is Satoshi Sekimoto. Knowing he completely dominated his opponent, he's showing that there. And really the side of the chosen one, Fan Ho Hao tried to do something, but there was nothing to do. Taking all the damage and really eventually died out in 100-0 in a matter of seconds.
Yeah, as an assassin, you have to try to, you can use your escape, try to stagger it at least, and stay stealth if you're in a dangerous position. But, Satoshi having the more experience, in this World Champions, he just,
my God.
Well, in this replay right now, this moment, it was inevitable because he was already out of escapes. I wish they would have shown when the assassin used both the escapes and why it happened, why it led to that moment. But Satoshi, good play on his side.
And it just seemed like Famo Hall was supposed to do that from the opposite end, with that assassin from 100 to 0.
Yeah.
He got a taste of his own medicine there, and he knew in the back of his mind that I was supposed to do that, I was supposed to do that, but when you get that done for yourself, it does feel very, very bad. We're going to get ready for the third match, the tag match. Hopefully, we can see a comeback from the Chosen One with the 2 points that can gather here, but if the Noonsang fan club, the 3 players, if they're ready to just finish out the series by getting 2 more points to end out the series, they can do that, but it's going to be about the Chosen One, whether those 3 players have what it takes to come back in this series and really extend us onto a game 4.
Yep, and like I said before, Vietnam server hasn't been open for more than like 3 weeks, so them being here and competing against all these experienced teams is, you know, commendable. And, you know, just the fact that they don't just get 100 to 0 all the time, it just shows how good they are considering the server has only been open 3 weeks.
Just once. 100 to 0 just once.
Yeah, but, you know, it's not always the 100 to 0. If it were the case for me, it's like I wouldn't be able to compete against a 2-3 year or even 4 year veteran.
To be honest, I played blade&soul for more than 3, and I probably would get 100 0 every time. So kudos to them. So they do much better than me. So thank goodness they can do that. But it is the World Championship in Vietnam. They're being represented here by this team, the Chosen One, trying to make their efforts to get to the highest point in the stage that they can be. But I think the tremors are really coming out to these guys, and the nerve wrecks are slowly creeping up on these guys. I mean, I talked to you about this ending right before this match began. I think the Chosen One are in the worst possible situation to be in. To be in a loser's match is fine. Maybe they expected it, but against Noonsang Fan Club out of all teams, it just blows my mind.
But, you know, it doesn't matter which one comes. Like XD or Guardian would have been hard.
Sure.
Regardless, even though, like, it doesn't matter Noonsang Fan Club, XD or Guardian, they would have had a hard time.
It's like you're playing an RPG, but the boss monster comes to you at the first stage of the game. It's like, that's not fair.
Yeah, you're not ready yet. You're not leveled up yet. And the last boss comes up. That's basically what's happening to them.
It's a terrible situation for the Chosen One, but they have to stay strong. I don't know. I think we're getting the loading screen. Trying to pick up these games, but let's see how long it begins. They're getting a little bit extended break before we get there. Go slowly.
It seems like we do have a problem, maybe.
Yeah.
And like I said before, let the problems happen before, you know, the matches begin. Because like this, when this happens in the middle, the momentum and the hype and the adrenaline rush, it all leaves, you know. And we don't want that for the players, not for us, for the players who are, you know, trying to keep that momentum going to, you know, get the win, or trying to, you know, hold on to their mentality to come back even if they're at a loss. But this pause, it just, you know, ruins all that, you know?
What's the adrenaline that the Chosen One has?
No, like I said, like they're trying to hold on to their mentality, and now the adrenaline is for Noonsang.
Sure.
They're going to run out now. And for the Chosen One, they're probably like, all right, guys, let's keep it together. Let's go. And then there's something happens, and we're like, phew, really? And now they have to wait. I don't know how long, but probably a couple minutes. And
I think they just restarting the game. I think we saw in the loading screen that they were just kind of finding a random force, and the match ended in 30 seconds. I think they meant that. I think an error did occur in the game, so they forced a restart by finishing the game that they initially started. I think we might be starting very soon. We're trying to look for the loading screen to see if we're going to get any indication of that. We do have a different producer today. We hear a male voice instead of a grill voice. We're very, I'm alright with that. No cap pride on that one, but so we're happy with that. But because we have a different producer, so we get a little bit of different communication methods, definitely on how to really just understand the situation of what's going on.
And it sounds different.
It does, because it's a male voice.
Yeah, it's a male voice. But anyways, so I can't. We don't get any voices in our head today. Yeah. Usually we get the voices in our head telling us like what is or what caused the problem, or you know which side has the problem, so we can tell you guys. But it seems like we are ready.
Somehow the problem has been fixed without the voices in our head, but we are gonna go right on to game 3 to see the tag match, whether Noonsang Fan Club can finish off with a 4-0 sweep, or whether the Chosen One can pick us back up 2-2. Gonna find out. Let's get to the match. Let's get on. And there you go.
Yep.
Game 3 finally does begin with Noonsang fan clubs dominating currently with the 2 points that they have already gathered for themselves, as expected. It's the very newly introduced TheChosenOne from Vietnam.
Yep, this is their last chance to stay in the tournament. They have to win this tag to stay in, to go to the 4th set.
Koichi Hirota, you know, if I saw him as my opponent, I would just, you know, do that little animation where I just pick up the computer and just throw it out the window and.
Don't even do that. Just go AFK. Go, you know, grab a drink and come back.
It's not enough ending. It's not enough to relieve my frustration I have for Koichi Hirota's destroyer style.
You won't experience the pain. But right now, it seems like it's pretty even.
Yep.
They did trade off an escape. They did, even though, you know, TheChosenOne did use one more escape, interfere. And there we go, another defensive interfere coming in.
Yeah.
Other than the 2 interfere points that they've used and the tag just now, you know,
so many resources being used.
Koichi Hirota is, you know, staying calm a little bit right now.
Dokoki is out on the summoner. We haven't seen too many of this guy throughout this series specifically. So a little bit of him during the tag, the previous series where he did lose out. But all in all, just needs to put in a lot of damage when the opportunity does arrive to him. But other than that, the cat is trying to help him make that happen. But Koichi Hirota not having one care in the world of what the cat is trying to tickle at him. Trying to get him into the drag him in.
Yeah.
Looking for the knockdown. Koichi Hirota, but still taking damage from the summoner now.
Going in. Ember Stomp.
That's going to be a reaction 2v2 now.
Okay.
Putting in a lot of damage onto the summoner. Where he can hold on to this is going to be important here. Tatsuki, as soon as he comes in, it's going to be a summoner mirror match now, supposedly.
Yep, they both are the masters of summoners. Let's see which one, you know, is able to play the mind game better to land that sunflower.
The best summoner in JP and the best summoner from VN. Yep. But the Vietnamese one kind of raises the white flag early and tags out. And Famahall on the assassin does come in.
Yep, and the summoner, Tatsuki Mizuno, still has his tab escape. And he has all the time in the world because he is almost at full health.
It just seemed like, with the recent trend, it just seemed like the summoner have a pretty comfortable time against an assassin, just the way they can poke around. Not for assassin to do much to him, but other than that, Satoshi Sekimoto comes back onto the field with that tag point being used by Tatsuki Mizuno.
Yep, the defensive interfere comes in. 2v1, and Satoshi is just, you know, enduring it. They don't.
Famahall is doing pretty well though. Just kind of forcing out Tatsuki Mizuno out of the play and really giving a little bit of trouble to Satoshi Sekimoto as well.
Yep, and Satoshi is, like I said, doing so well. He is probably going to try to keep that tag point until that forced tag.
That interfere point was very good by the side of TheChosenOne, putting a little bit of damage onto Satoshi.
Oh, he is backing off. All right.
Another series of damage coming towards Satoshi Sekimoto. Yamaha, along with his teammate, doing very good with using that interfere into successful damage. But as soon as he comes in, Satoshi Sekimoto uses that lightning draw onto the damage. Gets a little bit of damage onto the Blade Master and Wen Fon Trong, but other than that,
defensive interfere once again. They are using their interfere points too hastily, kind of. Even though it is needed right now for that defensive interfere, they have to make opportunities and create opportunities and make Noonsang use their interfere points as well.
Good chase by Nguyen Phan Phong, and just everything about this play has been very good, but does tag out immediately those toward Dokoki, but on the summoner, he's done pretty well last time around. Whether he can get another damage back onto Koichi Hirota, he's doing a very good job now.
There we go. Koichi Hirota, even though taking so much damage, playing it super aggressive.
It just seems like Noonsang fan club has really lost that adrenaline that you were talking about ending with that little bit of delay that we had. And really during that time off, TheChosenOne really figured out a strategy that will work against them in this tag environment.
Yep, and unfortunately for the assassin, he's out of all tag and interferes. It's not looking good. Even though they are at full health, the people on the bench.
Dokoki tags out. Famahall back on the assassin. He's done pretty well. Mostly with the interferes coming in with that additional damage that his teammate is trying to put out. So good job on that one. Landmine does connect. Knocking him down. Tatsuki taking that damage from the bombard. Actually, going to be taking so much damage that we didn't expect from Famahall. And it's going to be coming in right away. Tatsuki, as soon as he comes in, is going to be coming out, taking that damage as soon as we saw the interfere coming from the destroyer. Koichi Hirota.
The leaf is used. He still has his stealth. And you know, Vanderhall, he does not have a tag point, so he has to last that 1 minute and 5 seconds for the forced tag.
But you know, what I think ending is that he's feeling very confident about the situation, a lot more than what he has felt earlier against Noonsang Fan Club. But pretty feel confident about staying around for 1 minute. He needs to be careful though. The lightning draw coming in from Satoshi Sekimoto, doing a fair bit of damage onto Famo Hall, but stay out for 45 more seconds. He'll get a little bit of help from Doko Ki if he needs it. Hopefully from that defensive interfere if he will get one.
Yeah, and he has to wait for another 5 seconds.
Very good play into the aerial. Poison breath.
Oh, no whipping.
Seemed like it didn't connect.
He could have bought that time for his stealth to come back, and it did come back with the look. And he just used
what?
Stealth because he got CC'd from far away, and that seemed like a little bit of a waste. But it's okay. He's still in there. He's still in there.
Stealthy. CC right there, coming from Satoshi Sekimoto, but the summoner now trying to put in the damage. Coming from Doko Ki, like we talked about, but it's going to be the first man out. It's going to be Satoshi Sekimoto knocking out Famo Hall for the first man down for the side of the Chosen One. Now it's the Japanese side, Noonsang Fan Club trying to go to work, carry this momentum onto the second man. What they're trying to do here, Satoshi Sekimoto now finally showing his strength. Now Tatsuki coming in with the summoner damage. It's going to be the second aerial, but even more damage. Maybe no punch out. Does he have enough to knock him out? But gonna stay alive for now. He does have one tag point. Wenfan Chuang, if he does decide to go out onto the way, which he does get chased as soon as he comes in. Koichi Hirota does a good job of chasing him as soon as he comes in.
There we go. The summoner is grabbed, and Koichi is never gonna back up, even though
no way.
Yep, and knocking both of them back with the Typhoon.
The Typhoon is gonna be good enough for damage, but the summoner has been bothering him all day, and Koichi Hirota has been really just marbled about what he needs to do against the summoner. He hasn't found the answer quite yet.
So grabs him Ember Stomp. There we go. This is the time for him to do something.
Wedge into the power slam.
Tab escapes out.
Doko Ki has to be a little bit careful now. He tries to heal himself back a little bit, but other than that, he needs to look for additional stun. That is exactly what we're talking about. The lightning draw into the interfere coming in from the Satoshi Sekimoto is good enough to finish him off, and now the Chosen One is in a very uncomfortable situation with Wenfan Chuang, the last man out.
And everybody has an interfere point because the 3-minute mark has
It's a terrible situation because not only is it the Blade Master trying to pick off the 1v3, but it's against the Noonsang Fan Club, which you have lost the first 2 singles on. Trying to carry that momentum is really a difficult thing.
Yeah, it is very unfortunate, but they're not giving up. He is trying his best.
Yep, and Koichi Hirota going aggressively. Just unlike any other time that he's done, Judgment Cleave is trying to go in. He's going with the Cleave Wrath actually with his combo. The damage now.
The summoner comes in, he blocks some of it, but he's not going to be staying out there for too long.
Good job of holding still. 2 minutes left in the game. Doesn't seem like Wenfan Chuang can stay that long, and this might be the end of it. Satoshi Sekimoto comes in for that interfere, finishes them off with the assistance of Koichi Hirota, and Noonsang Fan Club gets approximately 3rd place in this Group B, and although we expected them to place much higher, I thought they were the heavy favorites coming into this tournament, but losing out to the Guardian from the NA and going to this loser match, they do beat out the Chosen One from Vietnam to get themselves a 3rd place. But like I said, look on their face, it definitely shows a lot of disappointment because they probably wanted a lot higher placement for this first day of group stage than 3rd place. But in the end, a win does go over to Noonsang Fan Club in the end in this series. That will be concluding our part 1 of this day 1. We will have another part 2 coming in 1900 Korean Standard Time. Look at the replay here.
Yeah, all I remember from this match is that the assassin making that mistake or misjudging that situation where he tab escape first. Okay, you remember that part?
Yeah.
The tab escape and the not webbing, poison breathing instead of webbing. So those two. If he were to maybe just think about what he's gonna do beforehand or plan it, he could have had a kill at that moment. But it's very unfortunate that that didn't happen. Because I don't want the Vietnamese team, even though they are very inexperienced, I want them to have a taste of a victory.
Sure.
So, I hope they get their thoughts together and talk to each other about how they should improve rather than, becoming, getting down or getting angry.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you can recap all their past performances of day one and really just look at the VODs of how they play. I think they definitely could play better because I think with the potential they have in these players, especially with Famo Hall on that assassin, doing very well for the most part, but not getting the decisive win on his part. But in the end, it's all about the wins here for the Worlds 2017. But we see the winners from Group A showing over here, Pengandi winning out and Tourist winning out. And thank you from the losers match. They're gonna get the win over Basilisk Time, so Japan team could not get the third place from Group A, but it is Noonsang Fan Club, the other Japanese team, who gets the third place. So not a very good day for Japan altogether. We thought Basilisk Time may be understandable that they didn't place as high as they expected.
It is their first time participating here in this Worlds tournament anyways. So, give them some slack. But we do have XD and Guardian, the EU and the NA.
Welcome back, everyone, to blade&soul Korea. Oh, we're not in Korea anymore. We're in the World Championship. God darn it.
We're in Korea.
We're in Korea, but we are doing the World Championship 2017. We are back with the last match of our opening session of the World Championship Day 1. We got to see all the Western teams, the NA and EU teams represented one by each, get a win.
Yeah,
which is something I very, very much like. So Western dominance is beginning and ending. You watch out.
All right, I'll watch out. Well, for our next matchup for losers, we do have the Vietnam team versus the Japanese team. Noonsang Fan Club that you guys just saw get defeated by Guardian will be facing TheChosenOne, who got defeated by the EU team XD.
And it's really surprising to imagine that Noonsang Fan Club would have been in a losers match.
Oh, yeah.
And that's very much a surprise because I know the strength of this team and the individual players who have successfully done very well.